Vegan shortbread. This is a recipe for classic shortbread, and it is a fundamental recipe in the baking kitchen based on a ratio of 1:3, meaning 1 part sugar, 2 parts butter, and 3 parts flour to create a short. When we talk about short, we're talking about fat cookie, which is very crumbly and soft, and this is a great place to start when learning all about cookies. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is cream your butter and your sugar. Of course, we're using a vegan butter, and you can check out the previous video on your dashboard all about the fundamental technique of creaming. So we can get on to our next step, which is, of course, our flour. So we've already got our 1 part sugar, 2 parts vegan butter creamed, and now we're having our 3 parts flour, and all of this ratio is based on weight. And if you forget the ratio, you can also check the recipes. We have all the gram measurements as well. So I like to sift my all-purpose flour just onto a sheet of baking paper. I have some finely ground sea salt as well, so we're going to add that too. Just sift that all. Now I have my beautiful creamed butter and sugar, which we're going to add. I'm doing this all in my stand mixer, but you can do this with just a handheld mixer as well. So straight in. And I am using my paddle attachment. And we're going to put this on a super low speed. I always like to just kind of pulse it to begin with, just to get it started so we don't have flour flying everywhere. And the key here is to combine all of those ingredients until they're just mixed. We don't want to work any of the gluten in that flour. We want a very soft, crumbly cookie. And that's it, it's already mixed. So once we get to this stage where it's kind of crumbly, things are starting to come together, we can put it onto our bench just to finish working it there. Now we've got all our dough on our bench. We're just going to press everything together without working it too much. That is the key. We want to create that nice, short, crumbly texture of a classic shortbread cookie. You may have had one of these cookies around Christmas time. They are very popular. They're also a nice alternative to the sugar cookie. So I'm just going to wrap this dough up into some cling wrap, or you can use your baking paper. And we're just creating a disc, and then this is going to go into the refrigerator to chill. So I chilled my classic shortbread dough in the fridge, and then I rolled it out between 2 sheets of either baking paper, or you can use these silicone mats. And just to make things a bit easier, I pop these guys into the freezer for about 10 minutes just to firm and chill it up, especially if you are working with this dough in summertime. Now we're going to stamp these out using what's called a fluted cookie cutter. So that's just got like the scalloped edge, and so it doesn't stick. You can either dip it in some icing sugar or some flour. And we are going to cut straight into these guys and onto our tray.
If you would like to put some toppings onto your shortbread cookies, you can easily do that. Just take your pastry brush and you just want to dip it in a little bit of water and brush it on each cookie. And then you can use whatever you like to put on top. I'm using some demerara sugar, and you can either dip them in like I'm doing here, or you can sprinkle them on top. And just repeat. This also works well with crushed nuts or anything else that you would like to stick on top of your cookies.